Live. We're live on Substack.
It's happening. Here
It's
we are. Hello, world.
Hello, Substack world. Amanda Johnson here with Matt Sturm. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. We've of course been collaborating in all sorts of formats over the last many months now, and we are gracing Substack with our live presence today. So I'm
Mhm.
excited.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
We are here to talk about a number of things, but I'm, of course, super excited because we've got a very cool event happening in just a couple of weeks that Matt is going to be one of our featured voices at. So we wanted to bring him on, hear a little bit about what we're going to be talking about then, maybe give you a little sneak peek, a little teaser into that, hear more about his book that he's working on, and just really any of the other wisdom and brilliant insights that this man can
Mm.
just channel in real time. But the topic for today, the theme for today is on transforming masculinity to transform the world. And so I think this is going to be a very juicy conversation for anyone who is interested in any of those things, masculinity or transformation and transforming the world. So I'm so happy
Mhm.
to be talking to you today, Matt.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be sharing this space with you. And just a little bit of context for the people who may be coming from my audience. So, Amanda runs Awaken Village Press, and I got connected with you maybe about a year ago.
Mhm.
And let's just say I had some challenging publishing experiences in my past. And as soon as I met Amanda, there was just such a strong heart resonance and alignment with vision that I wanted to be a part of what she was doing. So,
Mm.
over the last year, we've been getting to know each other more, and we've been digging into all sorts of different projects together.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And it's a real, like, it feels so good for me to be partnering with a publisher who is aligned on all of these different levels to bring my work out into the world. So, I just want to offer that as well.
Thank you. That fills my heart so much. And it's amazing because, of course, yes, when I met you as well, I remember feeling there was a turning. It felt like this turning of the tide. You really, I think we met at a very pivotal moment in my journey doing the work I do in the world and feeling as if, like, okay, we are really expanding into something
Mm,
greater, more, and it was when you came in and along with a few others, it felt like, oh wow, I'm attracting my people. Like these are my people. This
mhm,
is my tribe. These are the voices. These are the authors. These are the, again, humans I want to be working with, collaborating with, supporting. And so I'm delighted. I mean, truly delighted that you found your way to me and we're in this together. And so again, anyone watching, a quick just to say it, next in 2 weeks, June 14th through the 17th, you are going to get to see much more of Matt. He's going to be joining us at our Writing the World Forward Summit, 4 days
mhm,
free event. You do not have to join all 20 sessions, but there are going to be 20 opportunities to drop in with people like Matt, who have really important messages that are here to really transform the world and to write a new world that we are here to. We want to create a new reality. Well, we got to change the stories that we're telling ourselves and the stories that we're writing. And so, again, I please, we will make sure the links are somewhere, but go to anywhere, reach out to us, leave us a post, a note. We will make sure that there is a way to join us, or just go to awakenvillagepress.com/summit and you can register for free there. So let's get into the conversation after all of this, like feeling good about each other,
mhm,
which I love so much.
mhm.
So Matt, I mean, again, you've already written a number of books on this topic in some way, shape, or form, and you're working on another book now, which has a working title of Facing the Hydra, if I am
Mhm.
permitted to say
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Beautiful title, really excited about it. And so with all of that, we came up with a topic for your solo session during the summit, although again, we'll hear from you a few times throughout those 4 days about transforming masculinity. And so let's just start there. I mean, what do you want to say about that?
Mhm. So I'm passionate about masculinity. This is the topic that I'm choosing to go deepest in with my studies and my research and with my writing. I have been engaged in men's work for like 15 years now, something along those lines. And I work as a therapist. I support men around sex and relationships. Um, and I got to a certain point on my own path where starting to look at the collective is what became most interesting for me. Men doing transformational work is always going to be a passion of mine. I have done so much transformation, like men's work has changed my life again and again. So that's why I love it. And publishing a book, writing a book is a collective experience. And so instead of like focusing on a man or the men who are showing up to my retreat, the shift is let's look at masculinity as a cultural phenomenon. Let's look at these shared identities and values and beliefs and the ways that we act with each other and present to each other, and see if we can evolve and change that into a healthier, more life affirming version. So my term for that is the organic masculine.
Amazing. Every part of my body is like, okay, yes, please. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, please sign me up for all of the people who are reading your book and integrating that into their lives. So I think this is interesting. I'm going to go back because when we were putting this summit together, as I was putting it together, I remember one of the initial titles was different. It was sort of, and I can't remember what it was now, but I remember your response, and I thought your response was so cool. You were like, I don't want to like put myself up. I'm not trying to raise myself up as like I've figured it all out, right? And so there was a reframe that you wanted to take in terms of how the session could feel or what the subject and title could be. And I just tell me more about that, because I thought, wow, what a cool response. And it felt really honest and authentic. And, but I also was like, ooh, tell me more. So tell me more.
Yeah. Okay, great. I love that you're bringing this in. So I believe the initial topic that you proposed was becoming the man the world needs.
That's right. Okay.
I think that was what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so if I say I have become the man that the world needs, well, first off, I don't believe myself. But second, there's this risk of placing myself back on the top of the pyramid, and being a man at the top of a pyramid is one of the exact things that we're trying to undo here, right? So there's a level of humility that I bring to this work. I have studied this deeply, both in my internal laboratory. I'm doing my PhD in human sexuality right now. Like, I'm doing a lot of reading and exposure to these topics. But I'm just a guy who is like trying to figure it out like the rest of us. And the way that I offer these books and my writing is like, here are my field notes. Here's what has worked for me. Here's how I see the world. Hopefully it's inspiring to you. I don't need you to agree with me, but I see my role as like shining a spotlight on some places. Hey, look here. Hey, look here. See what this place holds for you.
Yeah.
And then I trust the process. Whatever you find, wherever you land, great, whether it agrees with me or not.
I love that. I love that. And if anyone here, I mean, if you're coming through us, please check out Matt's Substack. I mean, he's got brilliant articles, and I've read a few of them already. And there's a whole, I mean, just the body of work you've created here is, I mean, we're talking about sharing your field notes, talking about sharing, your experience, your perspective, which is so, what I love about how you write is that you bring that personal experience to the table alongside the studies and the research and more of the founded and information founded in other sources that some people really find to be even more comforting or interesting, or just they can be more curious about. So I love that.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah. So again, make sure you're following him and reading his stuff.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And of course we can't wait for the book. But okay, so if we get back to, and I love that. So yes, when you came with a little pushback, I thought, okay, I like this. Yes. So we're exploring, you're going to be exploring transforming masculinity to transform the world. And you talked about, I mean, when we think about, interesting, even now, you said men at the top of the pyramid, right? Things like this. What to me, what would be, I don't know if I can say one, or maybe there's like 1 to 3 things that come to mind immediately that you're like, you know what? if we're going to transform masculinity, here's like the one or two things that we've got to look at. We've got to reevaluate. We've got to like break apart. I mean, is there anything coming up for you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's do two things. I could do three, I could do five,
Okay.
right? But let's do two things.
Perfect.
So the first I'll say is finding an authentic relationship with masculinity. And this can apply to people of all sexes and genders, whether you identify as a man or not, because we all engage with masculinity. We all have access to it in our psyche and in our bodies. So there's a common frame, a concept in the world of men's work called the man box. It was developed by Paul Kivel. He's amazing. Check out his work. The man box is the set of rules that men get socialized into. We have to be strong. We have to be a provider. We have to initiate sexuality. We're not allowed to cry. We know what's in the man box, right? We are taught that we have to stay in the box, right? This is where we're allowed to exist. And if we're not in the box, we're in trouble. We're going to get bullied. We're not going to be successful. We're not going to have sex. We're at the bottom of the pecking order, so to speak. So this is a frame that has been around for 25, 35 years. It's well known in the men's work world. It's about looking at the socialization that we internalize and then stepping outside of the man box, seeing like, hey, these rules, they actually don't work very well. They don't work well for me. They don't work well for the people around me. So that is an established frame. There are whole organizations doing work around getting men out of the man box. They go into prisons. It's phenomenal. So what I want to add to this conversation is once you step out of the man box, where do you go from there? There's so much focus on get out of that framework. I want to help men step into a more expansive framework for masculinity, or all of us to understand masculinity in a more expansive way. So I look at developmental theory, like psychological development, and how people move through successively more complex and holistic self-sense phases of being. So the man box is kind of at the bottom rung, but then there are more rungs above that, pluralistic, integral, expansive realms that we get to explore and feel into and play. So that's one of the things that's in my writing and which I'm excited about in terms of transforming masculinity.
Amazing. I can't wait to hear number two. Again, anyone listening or watching this as a replay, this is why you're going to want to join the summit, because we're going to get Matt on day one. We're also going to get to hear from him later in the week. So please sign up, awakenvillagepress.com/summit. Okay. What's number two?
Okay. Number two is, in addition to development and growth, we need rites of passage. So rites of passage is an archetypal framework that operates differently than psychological development. We go through a symbolic death and rebirth from one phase of life into another phase of life, from one role in the tribe into another role in the tribe. So largely in Western culture, through modernity, we have lost our rites of passage. But all human cultures across, like going back, had rites of passage at some point. And in a large part, they're segregated by sex. They are gendered processes. So the boy goes through a rite of passage to become an adolescent. The adolescent goes through a rite of passage to become a man. The man then goes through a rite of passage to become an elder. There's a warrior series of initiations. There are magician, lover, these archetypes. They require a particular container to go through that death and rebirth process. So we as men, and this is a lot of what men's retreats and men's work in more like the Mankind Project or Sacred Sons world is about. It's about taking men into these types of spaces where they can release the old and then grow into a more empowered, more responsible, more expansive version of themselves to become stewards in the world. And so my sense is we need both.
Mm-hmm. And when you say we need both, what do you mean? So we need both.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
We need the developmental psychology of
Oh, the
stepping
number one.
into.
Yep,
Mhm.
yep.
And then
Mhm.
we need the rites of passage, the initiation process.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Mhm.
And is there anything about the rites of passage that, you offered for the first point, what you were adding? You're like, "Listen, we can't stay in the box, but now people don't know what to do, where to go." How do you
Mhm.
feel about the rites of passage? Do you have a spin on it yourself, or do you see it being
I
done
have
in
so much in here. Yeah,
Yeah?
okay.
Okay.
So the mythopoetic men's movement is
Mhm.
the first place in contemporary culture where we started stepping back into rites of passage in the United States. Came about in the late 80s and picked up steam in the early 90s. And then there are threads of the mythopoetic men's movement that are still very much alive today. And Robert Bly took a grim fairy tale called Iron John or Iron Hans as the core of here's the rite of passage that we're undertaking. In my reading of this fairy tale, so what happens is, let's just do a little fairy tale, shall we? For
Yeah.
folks who don't know. I'm not going to do the full thing and I'm not going to do it justice because I just want to give it briefly here to make my point. So there's a kingdom. All is not well in the kingdom. There's a threat in the forest, and a wood chopper goes into the forest and discovers that there is this wild man beneath the surface of a lake. And so he brings the soldiers and they scoop out the water and they find this hairy wild man and then they subdue him and they put him in a cage in the town and they lock him away there.
Mm.
And then the king's son, sometime later, loses his golden ball into the cage. And in order to get the golden ball back, the wild man says, well, you have to release me from the cage. And in order to do that, you have to get the key, which is under your mother's pillow. So the little boy thinks about it for a while and eventually, okay, he goes and he steals the key from under his mother's pillow and he releases the wild man. And then he goes, oh, actually, can you take me with you? Because if my parents find out that I let you out, they will surely beat me. And so the wild man adopts the little boy and they go off into the forest, right? There's more to this myth, but for our purposes, this is a story of a child, of a boy stepping into the wild man, who for me is an archetypal adolescent.
Mm.
He's getting in touch with his independence, his sexual potency. He's breaking free from the conditioning and structures of his parents into his own domain.
Mm.
It's an adolescent rite of passage. The issue is that then there's another rite of passage for what it means to be an adult man. So a lot of men's work focuses on this first rite of passage. Unchaining the wild man is what I call it, right? And men need this. They show up for it because we don't have this in our culture. And so, like, at a retreat I had years ago, there was a 70-year-old man who this particular rite of passage landed for him. At the end of the retreat, he was crying. He was like, I never had this. He was 70. He was retired. He had a successful career. He had grandchildren, but like this thing never had happened for him.
Mm.
So it's important, but it's not the final answer. There is like another step from becoming an achievement oriented teenager into becoming a stewardship oriented adult.
Mm.
That is a different rite of passage.
Yeah.
And a lot of men's work hasn't gotten there.
I love
Yeah.
that. Wow. Okay, again, I can't wait to have this full conversation. Like, I'm already like, "Oh my goodness, what a great teaser." Let's bring it back around to, I mean, what do you wanna say about this upcoming summit? Why are you excited to be a part of it? What
Mhm.
feels alive for you in that space? Why do you want people to join?
So, Amanda, you were speaking about finding your people and like the way that we connected, it was like a new epic, a new area of people showing up from a different place or in a different way. I see this gathering, this summit, as calling in the tribe, as magnetizing the people who are ready to engage in the village of authors and creatives that you have gathered together, which includes me. Yeah. So we're calling in our tribe and I'm continue to be a part of this because there's a creative, innovative energy here which feels really alive and exciting for me. And
Awesome.
I trust that the folks who um, can feel that will show up and engage and get something out of it too.
Mm, I love that. Yes. Oh my goodness. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Oh, well, you know what's funny is if I don't move my mouse around, my screen just goes to sleep.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
love it. So here we are. I don't do lives on my desktop. This is awesome. So well said. So well said. And I hear you, and I am here for that. I am so excited. Like I said, we have you and 19 others joining us for four
Mm.
days. It's going to be incredible. I mean,
Mhm.
we're going to cover everything from healing and medicine work and femininity and masculinity and anxiety and creativity and all the itties. I can't
Mhm.
wait. I can't wait. So again, Matt, you are, well, I also want to plug your Substack. Make sure you subscribe to Matt if you aren't following him already and you know him through us. Please stay tuned for Facing the Hydra. The book is going to be amazing. I cannot wait to get my hands on it when it's ready for review.
It's coming your way soon. Like, soon,
Yay!
soon. Yeah. Yeah.
Yay! Oh my gosh. And of course, you're going to hear more about that book as a part of the summit as well, because Matt is one of our emerging voices as a book that we would love to bring into the world even this year. So again, we'll be talking more about that in addition. So anyone joining, I mean, yes, I hope this summit will be incredibly valuable from a point of inspiration, from a point of, again, feeling like you have found your tribe, that these are, we're
Mhm.
people that we are all here to build a better world and to write that world into existence through
Mhm.
our stories, through our narratives. And I'm absolutely stoked. So again, awakenvillagepress.com/summit. And I'm so glad for anyone who's able to watch live. And of course, this will be, I'm sure, available for replay. So thank you for watching the replay. And we will see you at the summit, June 14th through the 17th. And again, we'll be recording all of the sessions. So if you can't make them all, that's okay. We will make sure that you have a way to get those recordings.
I'm just gonna add in one little piece. So
Please.
Amanda's plugging everybody else, but she's also going to be talking about her upcoming book, and I am going to have the honor of interviewing Amanda. So if you want to hear about what Amanda is bringing into the world, you can also come for that.
Yay! Thank you. Yes, and that will be day 3. So yeah, we can't wait. So we're going to turn the tables. He's going to interview me for an entire session, and I'm really looking forward to that as well. So much to come. Thank you, Matt, for all the work you're doing. Truly,
Mm, mhm.
it's wow, truly, truly important. I am honored, deeply honored to know you and to get to walk this path with you and to have you here and to have you at the summit. And for all of you watching, thank you so much. We hope to see you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.